Hello. Welcome back. I don't know. Am I getting sick of the hello
No,
hello
you just
thing?
shouted at me.
Did I?
Hello.
Okay. Well,
Take
anyways,
two.
yeah.
Say it again. It was loud.
Hello. All right, guys. So I wanted to kind of talk about YouTube and why I'm discouraged with it. Because lately it just seems like I'm putting in so much freaking work on videos and it doesn't seem to be paying off. I mean, I am gaining subscribers and I am gaining views slowly but surely, but you know, when it grows like how slow it is lately, it just is discouraging to me, and it doesn't make me like want to film and want to make videos every freaking day, because I mean, you know, all my equipment and stuff is like subpar. I don't really have the money to like get, you know, a new camera or a new computer or anything like that. So I am doing I'm doing the best with what I got, and I guess I just kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of discouraged with making videos lately, because I mean, it takes me a minimum of 4 to 5 hours a day just to make a video for you guys, and I don't think you guys realize how much work it actually takes to make a video, and the time it takes, and the thought that goes into making the videos and whatever, and the fact that I'm doing repetitive stuff now because I'm just discouraged and shit with YouTube, and I don't know. So I guess what I'm asking from you guys is to kind of just help me grow the channel a little bit, to give me a little bit more motivation to, you know, continue making videos and continue doing what I'm doing if you guys are still enjoying it. But I just feel like I don't want to be pushing subscribers away and pushing viewers away from doing the same kind of stuff over and over again. The recommendations and stuff from you guys always do help a lot. So the feedback from you guys really helps. You know, when I wake up in the morning and I have like 35 comments to read and reply to, and, you know, see the video got a bunch of likes and stuff like that, that does help and kind of makes me more motivated to go film the next day. But I mean, for the most part, a year ago, I wasn't filming nowhere near as much as I am now, and I feel like I was more productive and I got more stuff done, because when you're filming and stuff like that, it definitely takes time out of your day, and you can't really get as much stuff done when you're filming all of it. So yeah, I mean, productivity or filming, you guys decide. You got to help me out here, and you know, give me some feedback and make me want to do this, make me continue to want to do this, give me ideas to you know, make videos of different things or different projects or whatever. But for the most part, the whole channel is kind of based on Hondas and Chevy LS platforms, and, you know, drag racing and whatnot.
Just film your everyday driving. Jesus.
I know.
You just blew the red light right there.
No, I did not.
You did.
It was a right turn.
Doesn't matter.
I guess it's just discouraging to me in the sense of, I see some people that like just start their channel and they deal with, you know, certain vehicles or certain cars, and their videos get like 4,000 views, and I'm lucky if my videos get 1,000 views. So I guess, I don't know, it just is discouraging, like I said. And I don't know if it's just because I deal with Hondas, and a lot of people don't really deal with Hondas anymore, and they only did in the 90s and early 2000s, and now they're kind of, you know, fading out and whatnot. And if I want to be successful on YouTube, maybe I got to deal with different platforms and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't know what the deal is, but when I see other people that are putting out like 2 videos a year, getting more subscribers and more views than I am, it is really discouraging, I guess. When I'm putting in daily videos for the most part, and, you know, putting out as much content as I possibly can, and making videos informative and try to help people out and whatever. Yeah, if you guys are a YouTuber, you kind of deal with the struggle, or you feel the struggle, you know what I mean? But yeah, also, like, I've gotten shout outs from like Cletus and Boosted Boys and a few other channels that are actually pretty big, and you'd be surprised of how much it doesn't do much. I think like my little shout out from Cletus, I got like, I don't know, 12 subscribers that day or something, and his video got like 300,000 views. So 300,000 views to 12 people actually engaging, I don't understand. Same with Boosted Boys. I mean, they shouted me out in one of their videos, and I got like 22 subscribers or something that day. So like I said, I don't know if the shout outs really do a lot, or if the the channel that's shouting you out has to like put in more effort during the shout out. Like they actually have to talk about HunterTuned for like more than 5 seconds, and they have to actually say like what my channel is or why they're shouting me out or whatever for like, you know, more than a minute. Maybe that would help. I don't know. I'm not really asking for shout outs. I just like helping people, and you know, I'd like to help people out that are in the you know, bigger YouTube scene that have more followers and stuff like that, because I feel like the goodness that I'm bringing them would also come back to me in some sort of way. But yeah, so anyways, I'm going to oh my god, I said anyways twice in a row.
You did.
So anyways, I'm gonna work on my B20 Vtec again, and we'll get to working on that thing and get it all buttoned up as much as I can with the parts I have. And then hopefully in the coming days, like I said, we'll be working on more projects like that single cam EG and whatnot. But yeah, I'll cut to those clips now. Hello, welcome back for HunterTuned B20 Vtec. This is the B20 Vtec that I've been assembling in the last couple videos. I got everything done. I just need to put my cams in and do all the stuff on top of the cylinder head yet. So put the caps on, cams, Vtec solenoid, water neck, you know, the coolant fittings, sensors, and timing belt and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some of that stuff and showing you guys how to do it today. And yeah, so I got all my parts kind of laid out on my bench over here. I got to clean a lot of them off because they've been sitting around for a while. But yeah. So I'm going to get all the caps cleaned, and then I'm going to clean the camshafts off as well. And then once everything is nice and clean, we can install stuff, and I can kind of show you the process. Alright guys, so for those who have not put a B-Series head together, I wanted to go over the cam cap orientation quick with you guys. These cam caps will actually say like intake 1 or exhaust 1 or whatever. This one doesn't actually, but like you can see right here, this says intake 5. So the numbers go from 1 to 5, and 1 is always closest to the timing belt and 5 is the farthest away. And these have little arrows on them as well, and the arrows point towards the timing belt. If you guys mess this up, you can actually, you know, have the oil flow to the head actually be messed up, because as you notice, there's actually little oil ports on all these little cam caps that correspond with the holders right here. These things still need to be cleaned off, but you can see like all these little oil passages on here. Those all need to be lined up correctly. And if they're not, like I said, you could have messed up oil flow in the head, and bad news bears. But yeah, so anyways, I got the cams installed, and then some of the caps here, or all the caps I should say. And one thing to distinguish what cam is the intake cam and what cam is the exhaust cam. The intake cam will actually have a slot in it. Hopefully you guys can see that, but there's actually a slot on the intake cam for the distributor to bolt into, and the exhaust cam is just like flat with no notches in it. So now that all this is installed, I'm going to get my cam seal installed. The cam seal actually goes right here, and there's also 2 cam seals under the camshafts that actually get installed onto the cam, that you just take the gear off and then slide the seal onto the end of the cam here. Alright, so now that my cam seal is installed, we can put this cap back on, and we can get the rails, or whatever they're called, the whatever frickin' these things here. We can get all these bolted on once I clean them off, and then we can pick up and do some of the timing stuff. Alright, so I got these rails all cleaned up, and I have to install them onto the cam caps here. And if you can see, like on the, you can see like little indentations on here where you can see where the cam cap indentation was. You can kind of use that as a guideline to see where these get set on. You know, if they go this way or this way or this way or whatever. You kind of can, you know, just see here what way these get bolted on. And these go like this from the indentations on the rails. So we're just going to bolt these on, same with this one. And then we can install all the bolts. So special bolts here, these are like a stud, and then the valve cover will bolt onto the top part here. So like it's 12mm thread down here, or 10mm thread down here, and then 8mm thread up here. Those ones go right in these spots here. I'll show you guys. So that's where the studs go for the valve cover here. And then the rest of them are just the regular 12mm bolts. And then the outside ones are 10mm. Alright, so I got all the cam caps and the rails and everything buttoned up. And now I got my timing belt on. And when you put the timing belt on, you want to make sure that like the cams are facing up, where it says up right here. You want to make sure those are up. And then you also have a mark down here on the crank gear that needs to line up with the mark on the oil pump. I got it all lined up, and I'm going to tighten the belt quick. And then I'm going to spin it over a time or two and then double check the timing to make sure it's still good and on. The way I tension the timing belts is I just take a pry bar or something on the bottom of the tensioner here, and I pry up on it with a pry bar, and then tighten down on the tensioner. There we go. It's pretty tight. Might be too tight, honestly. Alright, now I'm going to spin the motor over a few times. And we'll double check our marks. So now we got everything lined back up. I spun it over a couple times, and like I said, you can kind of see this mark right here on the crank gear. Needs to correspond with the oil pump mark. And then the two marks on the cam gears right there. Hopefully you can see them. And yeah, this belt is really tight. I can still move it, you know, a little bit, but this thing is like rock solid. It may whine a little bit, but it's better to have these belts tight than loose. So yeah, we're just gonna rock it. Send it. Now that we got the belt on, I'm going to install the lower timing cover. So this just goes on here like so, and then bolts onto the oil pump area. There's that. I don't usually run the top part of it, just because I don't really like having the timing belt covered up. I don't know why. I just like having just the lower portion on and leave the top open. That way if I need to check timing or anything like that, it's a lot easier to do with the top cover off. And I prefer the look of it like that. So yeah, I'm gonna get this timing cover installed, and then we can move on to some other things maybe. Rip.
Yeah. Throw that on the lid. Would you break off of it?
There's a little cap there. Right there. Okay.
Michael's seriously not even gonna fucking bother painting the valve cover.
I mean, he might. Look at that! Now, what color should I paint it? I don't know.
Check me out on Facebook for your valve cover needs. T-Bags Customs.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what color I want to do there. T-Bags is still getting there. And I think I might have to take this pan back off because I think it leaks. So I might have to take this pan back off and test it with water or something to see if I can get it to seal or if it leaks or whatever. I got the valve covers looking mint. Look at T-Bags. That thing looks freaking awesome. It's so hard to get like every little nook and cranny though.
Well, I can't see
you ain't gonna see that shit. You ain't gonna see it. But all right, well, we're gonna wrap it up for today, and got this thing all assembled. Now I just got to get some other shit like a transmission and all that, and I got to fucking get my car in here and get the motor out of it. And I want to paint the bay too, and I don't know what color I want to do the bay. We were thinking gloss black for the bay, and then maybe do like a red valve cover, like wrinkle red with black plug cover, or something like that. I don't know. Or we could do something out of the ordinary and do like a purple bay or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't copy me.
I'm not gonna do that kind of purple, bro.
My purple's beautiful.
T-Bags Customs, hit them on my Facebook.
Yep.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe, and we will see you later.